Last time I played Forza Horizon 6, I unlocked the rookie wristband, and today we're going to go straight to the legend wristband and 100% the game. This means we'll have to discover every road, complete every race, every PR stunt, and every side story, until we see that glorious Steam badge. Let's begin. Before I get into any achievements, I first need to check off the achievements I earned in my last video. Okay. Now, let's begin. Before I began grinding for any specific achievements, I wanted to complete the main campaign and go for all the wristbands. It was pretty straightforward to progress to the next wristband. Complete a race, ask Anna for the next one, and repeat. This quickly unlocked the green wristband event, and as a result, the Festival Fan achievement. I continue to do this for each wristband, completing races, and then the special rush event, which I didn't really get. What am I doing, man? What the is this? It was just some sort of special showcase with racing a plane, even a mech at some point. But I ended up meching my way downtown, which was for completing the Mech My Day showcase event, making waves, what, like it's hard? Ascending new heights, which was for completing the Flight Club showcase event, Orange, you're glad you made it, and in the Spotlight achievements, and their respective wristbands. Along the way, I also managed to pick up Pin It, which is a award for discovering 10 landmarks. Basically, you just need to drive around the map and you'll discover this by accident. Car, which is awarded for completing a Horizon Rush course. This is a given when you're doing the green wristband event because it's a Horizon Rush course. First Love, which was for purchasing a car from the auto show, which is required for some of the races because it didn't own the right car. Fresh Tire Smoke, which was for completing a drag meet. These are basically just in-game drag races, which you can start whenever. So I completed this when I was doing one of the drag races. Blank Slate, which is for purchasing the Yashiki player house, which I had unlocked after unlocking a certain wristband. This is pretty cool actually, because you could customize it however you liked. You could build anything you wanted. You actually had to remove rubble to get into the house, which I thought was pretty cool. Stamping Ground, which is for earning the yellow stamp in the collection journal. This was for the other side of Forza Horizon 6, which is for Discover Japan, which I hadn't gotten to yet. Feel the Rush, for completing 3 Horizon Rush events. Now this is also a given because up to Purple Wristband you will complete 3 Horizon Rush events to unlock all the wristbands. While I was doing all the races, I actually achieved Racing Aficionado, which is for winning 57 Horizon Festival race events. After getting the Purple Wristband, I actually ran out of races to complete at this point. What's next, Anna? Speed Zone? Wait, so I had to come up with a different way to gather Horizon points. First, I went back to any races I didn't come first in and replayed them to get the extra points that I'd left over. After that, I realised that 3-starring any PR stunt would give 100 Horizon points. With 7,000 points left, that meant I needed to complete around 70 PR stunts to 3 stars to get me to the legend wristband. I began with all the speed traps and found that the Ultima Evolution Coupe 1020 was a great cheap car costing only 150,000 credits, and it could 3-star most of the speed traps when I tuned it. As the tune made the Ultima an R-Class car, I was given the A Whole New World achievement for driving the car. Now the speed zones were a different story. The Ultima was good for speed, but when it came to handling tight corners in the speed zones, it just couldn't do it whilst keeping the speed I needed. While trying to complete a speed zone in Tokyo City, I ended up getting the Tokyo Resident achievement for completing 33 activities in the city. In the end, I found that the absolute best car for the speed zones and the rest of the PR stunts was the Mazda MX-5 Miata Forza Edition. With the right tune, this car had insane acceleration, while also being able to take corners at high speeds. If you want to get the car for yourself, you'll probably have to restart the game a few times like I did, so the car spawns as an aftermarket car at the festival drag strip. It's the only way to get it. This will also get you the Bargain Hunt achievement for purchasing an aftermarket car. At this point, the first Horizon Festival players had been released, and I was straight on to completing everything it had to offer. This was because one of the achievements required you to earn all festival players points for a season, meaning that I had to complete all challenges for 1 week straight. I couldn't miss a single one, otherwise I would have to retry next month. As well as that, one achievement requires you to earn the Series History Award. At 500 points and 180 points a season, that meant you had to at least complete 3 full seasons to unlock the reward. The weekly challenge had me complete various challenges with Toyota GR86, a car which I initially hated because it was so slow, but later on it would prove useful. One of the challenges I had to do with the car involved completing a Toge? I don't know how you pronounce it. This was a new kind of race to Forza Horizon 6, where you were 1v1ing an AI down usually windy roads. Completing this race unlocked the Just Getting Started achievement. After that, there was a treasure hunt, as well as some other smaller challenges like a photo challenge, some seasonal championships, and some PR stunts that I needed to complete in specific cars. It also got me to play some online minigames such as hide and seek and an online race, which, despite placing last in, unlocked me the racking up the miles achievement for discovering all 10 regions. After about an hour and a half, I had finished all of the challenges that I could do, and could continue on with my PR stunts using my new Mazda to help me. The danger signs were all very easy to complete in the Mazda, and I was able to 3-star most of them first try. One of the danger signs at the Irokawa launch site for some reason had its own achievement for earning at least 1 star on it, so that popped when I completed the danger sign. When it came to the drift zones, the Mazda wasn't really cutting it for me. It probably was possible, but I wanted a car that could 3-star the zones easier. This is where the GR86 comes back. With a Drift King tune on, it was perfect for the drift zones, helping me easily 3-star all of the drift zones across the map. For the Trailblazers, I quickly changed back to the Mazda for its speed. There was one Trailblazer that was particularly difficult though. This Trailblazer spanned a large portion of the map, and the finish zone was right in the centre of Tokyo City. I did manage to complete it with 3 stars after a few attempts, and this is the route. Begin by driving to the flower patch over to the left of the map. There are some buildings around the bridge before the field, so make sure to navigate around them and make sure to avoid any other indestructible structures like rocks, and try not to flip your car. When you get here, follow the main road next to the field down to the tunnel just before the drag strip. It's best to follow the road here to get the most speed. Before entering the tunnel, veer off to the left and drive towards the back of the drag strip to avoid the indestructible walls. Now, floor it down the drag strip and head towards this main road into Tokyo City, avoiding the buildings either side of it. Now that you're in the main city, just follow the main road that leads to the end zone, and if you've got more than 350 seconds left on the timer, you've got 3 stars on the Trailblazer. Completing the Trailblazers also unlocked the Crowd Pleaser achievement for earning 36 stars in the Otani region. Now that all of the PR stunts were complete, I decided to move on to road exploration. This took me well over 3 hours to get to just 650 roads discovered, and I couldn't find any more at all. This is where it gets interesting. In my mind, I've discovered every road, but to the game I've only discovered 654 out of 671. Now this is probably because I'd been going for so long and I was a little sleep deprived, but I just moved on to the regional mascots and bonus boards, completing them region by region. The travelling all around achievement popped at some point through my discovery journey, as smashing the regional mascots gives a small amount of Discover Japan points, which unlock the blue stamp. I also achieved 2 more achievements here, got to smash them all, and a few splinters as nothing for smashing all bonus boards and regional mascots. As well as that achievement, I actually unlocked the Legend wristband event. This is because the bonus boards also gave a small amount of Horizon points, which tipped me over into the Legend status. The event was just a long drive to Legend Island, showcasing the new Horizon Festival location and the new things it unlocked. By the end of it, I had finally gotten the wristband and unlocked the Horizon Legend achievement. The next morning when I logged on, I instantly found some easy roads that I hadn't discovered and managed to get a 670 out of 671 roads, and I am still yet to find that last road. Okay, quick update on this one. Out of nowhere, I somehow now have 671 roads. I was looking again and I checked my stats and now it's on 671 discovered. Don't know when I've discovered it, but yeah, I've got it now. But thankfully, the game gave me the Horizon Cartographer achievement anyways. Oh, what? Oh, well, I guess I'll take it. Now, there were only a few collectible related achievements left. The next collectibles on my radar were the treasure cars and the barn finds. I began with the treasure cars, which are all fairly easy to find. You just needed to find the rough area that I showed in the images and you'll see the car parked up. Finding the first one unlocks the A Fine Addition to My Collection achievement for finding your first treasure car, and after getting all 9 of these, the treasure hunter achievement popped and I moved on to the barn finds. These have been a staple of the Forza Horizon series, and they involve giving you a perimeter where a barn is rumoured to be, and your goal is to find it and then restore the car inside. In total, there are 15 of these barn finds, and you unlock more as you progress through the stamps. This meant initially I couldn't find all the barn finds as I was yet to get the golden stamp. It was at this point that I began completing all the side stories that Forza Horizon 6 had to offer. Now for me, the day trip stories were a little bit long, with the only fun part for me being Jordan's challenges at the end. Before that, on every trip, you would have to drive some route with a group, and May would give some facts and history on the locations. The Drift Club story was quite fun in my opinion, as it really allowed you to drift lots of different cars and have fun with it. The auto shop story got a little repetitive, as it was just picking up a car, driving to Yuri's shop without damaging it, and then stress testing it through some challenge. Completing these stories did end up unlocking all the stamps and the respective achievements here that I haven't already mentioned, as well as Dedicated Tourist for earning 3 stars on any day trip, as well as Storyteller for earning 81 stars from stories. As all the stamps had unlocked, I was also able to finish off finding all the barn finds around the map, but this didn't have an achievement. Before moving on to something else, I decided to buy out all of the clothes and car horns I could to remove them from the wheel spin loot pool. This is because I had racked up quite a few wheel spins and wanted to see what I could get. During my wheel spins, I unlocked the collector achievement for collecting 100 different cars. I then decided to complete some smaller achievements I had left to complete, which included even playing field for playing a spec racing championship. This is basically a race but with stock cars. I also got the show me what you've got achievement for displaying 3 different cars in my garage at the same time. To do this, I had to buy 2 houses to expand my display capacity. I also got All Eyes on You for parking the 2025 GR prototype at a car meet, as well as parking all over the world for parking at all 3 car meets across the map. Finally, I got Track Day for setting a time attack lap in a track toy car and What Are You Doing in My Estate, visiting another player's estate. I did this by going to the community estates, selecting the person's profile, choosing View Creative Hub, and then selecting Visit Estate. Now that the small achievements are out of the way, I had another 2 achievements in my sights, and they were to do with the food delivery job. Now, this was painful. The first achievement wasn't too bad. Working 9 to 5 popped right after completing my first job, but the real horrible one was the boss. This achievement required you to earn the maximum promotion in the job, which had ridiculous scaling each level. I ended up driving around Tokyo City for just over 5 hours to complete this achievement, and I'd stayed up till 4 AM just to do it in one sitting. Oh my god. Yes. Finally. I never want to touch that job again. Now, all that is left is the achievements relating to the festival playlist, which will be completed over time, and the Horizon Play achievements. Again, this first one isn't too bad, getting a level 10 Horizon Play. This took maybe 10 or so Horizon Play matches, but overall wasn't too much of a grind. Now, 100 levels on the other hand. This was something else. Players have been calculating the estimated time to complete this achievement with the new XP scaling. 1,000 hours. 1,000. You heard me right. 1,000 hours of online minigames non-stop. And I could see how these calculations could be correct, as I managed to achieve the spec racing badge for completing 250 spec races, and I was only at a measly level 33. Before committing to the grind, I decided to begin completing both the collection journals, even though this wasn't part of the achievements. I first began by completing every race the game had to offer, including the street races and togeis. Completing the toge races unlocked the White Ghost achievement for completing 5 toge races. I also bought every house in the game and slightly modified each garage by removing one piece of rubble or adding something in to unlock both the houses and garages discovery chapters. Then, I realised there were rivals sections for every race in the game. Rivals are basically the same race, but instead of racing against AI, you race against another player and try to beat their time. The one caveat is that you can't crash, rewind, or get reset, or your lap time will be flagged and it won't count in the collection journal. This also included all of the huge races, so I had to be extra careful not to crash, or I would have to start a 20-minute race again. After finally completing all the races for the second time, I moved on to the photography section. This involved taking photos of specific things around the map. I used this video to help me out, which I'll link down below. The stunt parties were ticked off as I played over time, the only annoying part being I had to wait many stunt parties for the final type to spawn. Moving on to the skills section, I had already managed to complete the normal skills chapter, but there was another skills chapter called the link skills. These were basically the same skills, but they must be done in close proximity to another player who was also doing the same skill to trigger the link. Me and my friend Dan helped each other on this one, though one of these skills is currently bugged and will have to be done later on. The Horizon Life chapter was next to complete, which involved completing all drag meets and time attacks in every class type, which was a little annoying, but it didn't take too long. Some easy chapters left included the car upgrades chapter, which I had nearly completed by using other people's tunes, so I only had to install a few modifications to complete this. Finally, the friends chapter just needed me to listen to all of the radios in the game and let the DJs speak. This leaves only a few chapters left, including the festival playlist, which will again be done over time, and the car collection in the discovery section, and Horizon promo in the festival section, which is for collecting and taking a photo of every single car in the game. That will be painful. So instead, I decided to begin the Horizon Play grind. Me and my friend Dan started playing Horizon Play non-stop, working our way through 250 of each game mode to earn the badges while we were at it. Additionally, every week the new festival players dropped, we made sure to complete all that there was, meaning that the played list achievement popped when the first week was fully complete. As mentioned before, it took 250 spec races to get to level 33, so we were in for a long grind. We managed to do another 150 hide and seek matches, as well as around 100 eliminator matches before Hotfix was released, which addressed this issue. When I logged into the game, I had unlocked all the level related badges and had also been set to max Horizon Play level, meaning that the maxed out achievement finally unlocked. We were free from the grind. Now, all that is left is the series history achievement, which involves waiting for 2 more full festival playlists, and the new Horizon Decades playlist just dropped, so me and Dan decided to complete the playlist whilst continuing to play Horizon Play until we got the last few badges. Then, we could focus on the car collection, the last hurdle to 100%. Except, there was one last hurdle to overcome. To complete this game in as little time as possible, you need to complete every challenge in the playlist, including the daily challenges. The issue was, I was going to be abroad for 10 days, meaning that I was going to miss out on some challenges if I couldn't find a way around it. However, GeForce Now came to the rescue, as it allows you to stream any game you own from any device, even something like an iPad, or in this instance, a TV in the apartment I was staying in. This meant I was able to log on just to complete the daily challenges so I wouldn't miss any. Once I got back home, I made sure I keep logging in to complete each weekly playlist as they arrived, until finally we got to the week that would give us the series history reward. Now I haven't officially 100% of the game, if you count the car collection and the badges, as I've yet to finish playing 250 of each Horizon Play game, and the cars left to buy are either ridiculously expensive or can only be attained in wheel spins. If I do end up making another video on this when the DLC is released, I'll hopefully have completed these badges and collections by then. But all that is left is to complete only a part of this week's playlist, and finally, we will have completed 100% of Forza Horizon 6. One more point to get the series history reward. Right, here we go, let's get 305 meters and then we're finally 100% of the game. Here we go. And there you go. The history reward has been unlocked. A Mazda Cosmo 110S. Okay, this is gonna be it. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Historic effect, earn a series history reward. There you have it. We've finally got the series history reward, and we have gotten every single achievement that Forza Horizon 6 has to offer. So there you have it, 100% of Forza Horizon 6. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know by leaving a like. It took a lot of editing and time to do this. And if you want to see more content from me, like potentially 100% the DLC when they come out, be sure to consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. Apart from that, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!